we expose the bottom mafia.
Look, you made a woman horny. Are you proud of yourself?
Oh my God, no!
Are we living at the corner of madness and reality?
So somehow we have to kind of, oh my God, is this who we are?
You are straight or gay, period. It's all happening out tonight. Join us on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Special guest, personal trainer and creator of the program, Ty Dorsey. With our host panel, lifestyle expert Napoleon Plays, trans activist Aaron Phoenix, president of Gays for Trump, Andrew Brett, reality star Chef Josie, DJ Diva Power Infiniti, DC Log Cabin Republican Joe Brookman, and our moderator Al Ferguson. It all starts right now, live on It's Happening Out.
Woo! Yeah! Well, good evening, America, and another great week for our community, and we are happy you're tuning in to America's most popular live gay talk show, It's Happening Out. We're broadcasting from the famous Wilton Drive. You see it right over our shoulder. Here in Wilton Manors, Fort Lauderdale, Florida, we always joke we're broadcasting from the gayest place on planet Earth, and ground zero of the gayest place, of course, is my friend Chef Josie and
Ground Zero, baby.
Ground Zero, and her restaurant Bubbles and Pearls, and we're broadcasting tonight live in front of all of the patrons in the restaurant at Bubbles.
So good in here.
It does smell really good in here. So welcome, America. We have a jam-packed show for you. Lots of things that we're going to talk about, play games, etc. First off, we thank you for joining us. Last week, you watched 521,000 of you watched our show last week. Of course, we thank Bubbles and Pearls. We also thank our accommodation hosts, the Big Coconut Guest House. Power and Aaron do not live here in South Florida, in the gayest place on planet Earth, and they come down and stay at the Big Coconut. Y'all having a good time there?
Amazing.
Yes. Have you been in the naked pool? Because I understand it's clothing optional.
It was optional. I thought we couldn't wear clothing in the pool.
Yeah, that's it. Well, it is Fort Lauderdale, Wilton Manors.
That's just what they tell Al when he goes anywhere that you might be naked.
Right.
Keep it on.
All right. We want to remind. Really? We're in the top 2 minutes of this show, and you're already starting this?
Ready.
Okay.
Ready to go.
All right,
out of the
go.
gate.
All right. I got plenty of time, and I'm going to get plenty of hits in on everybody. All right. We want to remind you to start a watch party and share us. If you like the content that you see tonight, we want you to start a watch party. It's really easy, and you help expose It's Happening Out to the patrons in the restaurant. We hope you do the same. In fact, my former friend Napoleon Plays prepared a little video about it. Watch this.
When viewing our live show in your app, please click Share. After clicking Share, your screen should change and you can then click Watch Party. On the next screen, you can write text to your viewing audience and then click Start Watch Party. You've done it. Enjoy your party.
All right.
Yeah,
It's as easy as that, and we hope you share us tonight. Hey, America, I want to let you know something. It's really exciting. Next week, we are going to play Russian roulette on one of these hosts, and one of them are not going to be here, and I haven't told them yet which one. So, Napoleon?
I don't know which one it's going to be, but I know which one it won't be.
And it won't be the Republican
Right,
either, because I'm the only one there.
All right. However, America, I want to tell you, next week we have a fascinating guest host that's going to be with us through the whole show. Have you heard that the first trans person of color won IML in Chicago.
Yeah.
Jack Thompson, there he is right there, is going to be a guest host next week on It's Happening Out. And
Yay.
I'm very, very excited. Okay, are we ready? Let's jump right into the show. At the top of every It's Happening Out, we bring you a meme. Now, we've done some great ones. This week, we bring our meme home. We couldn't help but focus on our friend Power Infiniti and his goodnight messages about children. Good night, children. And we saw some images this week that kind of reminded us of Power. So here's our special It's Happening Out meme of the week. Look at this.
Ready for these social justice warriors.
It's called When the Children Try and They Come For You.
Wait,
This is actually a live video. Wait, look at the guy in the background.
that's just what Power does to Andrew every time.
This is not fake.
Oh my
These two are going at it, and the little boy and the beluga whale are doing it also.
Oh my God.
So we thought that was the perfect.
Just to let
thing.
you guys know, that turned out beautiful. Me and this other performer were going at it
beluga.
live in public. We were actually reading each other,
Showing it?
but through actual face-to-face contact, we became good friends, and we love each other now. So
okay.
that was
Please disclose you're not a pedophile.
Yeah, all right. That's our meme of the week. Next
Wow.
thing we always do at the top of the show is the best thing of the week. We try to start the show light and remind you it's a good time. But we try to remind you it's a good time. And we do that with our little feature called Best Thing of the Week. We have one this week called Wow, You Have a Beard. And it is about the bottom mafia. Watch this.
Oh, Daniel.
Hey, it's so good to see you. I haven't seen you in weeks.
Oh, yeah, you look different.
It must be my new wardrobe.
No.
I've been doing Pilates.
No.
I started meditating, and I finally found inner peace and happiness for the first time in my life.
No.
Well, then I don't know what it is.
You know what it is.
What?
It's this! You've got a beard now!
Michael, you're accosting me!
Oh, yeah, because I thought you were one of us. I thought that you were femme.
I am.
No, you're not. Just look around you. They've already found you.
How? Who are they?
They're the gay bottom mafia. They can smell you're exuding testosterone now.
This is ridiculous and problematic. Gay men are a little more mature than this.
Not really.
I'm not even that mask. I promise I'm still femme.
Oh, really? Show me your chest. Clear your throat. Say something mean to me.
Fuck you.
Oh, God, yeah, you're fully formed. You're not safe here.
Yeah, okay. This is good.
Oh, Michael, what am I gonna do? I can't top all these men. I have errands to run.
It's too late. They've already found you and located you on the Top Finder apps.
Who?
The Hungry Hungry Bottoms. They've already dropped your pin and shared your location across the board. Oh, look! You made a woman horny. Are you proud of yourself?
Oh my God, no! It's just a beard. Is it really that powerful?
Yes! It's your entire sexual persona now. Now you're straight passing.
But I'm not even a top. I watch Bravo.
Say something else. Louder.
I'm a ballet instructor for the disabled.
No, that had the opposite effect. Say something else. They're lubricating.
I didn't vote.
Bullshit. I got dressed for this.
You didn't vote?
Well, no, I just moved here from Texas, and I was busy.
Too busy to have your voice heard. I see.
Yeah. Is that a buzzkill? Is it working?
Oh yeah, it worked all right. All of our anuses just went like this. I am going to go to another park. Pizza? Yeah, let's go. On him. I got his credit card.
Wait, what?
How true is that? That's our best
how you
thing of
guys
the week.
work.
If you
Huh?
squint really hard, you can see Andrew back there bent over as this.
Right?
but
I don't think this was funny or anything of the sort because
Noted.
it feeds into the stereotypical of what straight America thinks about the gay people.
Oh.
Noted.
It's not productive,
Right.
and it was
Okay.
very disingenuous.
All right.
That was smart enough to vote.
Buzzkill.
That was smart enough to vote
Okay.
for the blue.
All right, that is our best thing of the week. I enjoyed it very much.
Learn to
Now,
take a
I
joke,
did.
man.
we move on to happening now. Our happening now is about our trending breaking news alert. Something you probably haven't seen if you haven't watched the news in the last hour or so. Today, many YouTube bloggers filed a class action lawsuit against Google and YouTube about how they were discriminating against the gay community. This is breaking happening now. Watch this.
You know what sucks? Google and YouTube's treatment of our LGBTQ plus community?
They flagged our pride. They did not allow us to buy ads. They restricted us, they demonetized us, and they did not stand up for us.
And they broke their promise of a platform for free speech built off of our backs.
Then, they blatantly discriminate against us. Admit that their algorithm is biased and promise to fix it. They lied.
And still, they claim inclusion and even want to march in our parades.
How dare they?
That is why we, as a group, are suing Google and YouTube.
Hi, we are Bree and Chrissy from YouTube, and this is why we are suing Google and YouTube. Our LGBTQ plus content is being demonetized, restricted, and not sent out to viewers, which has highly affected our ability to reach the community that we strongly want to help.
Hi, my name is Chase Ross with uppercase Chase 1 on YouTube, and the reason why I'm suing Google and YouTube is because I'm fed up of the discrimination that we're getting in the LGBTQ community. YouTube is supposed to be a safe space for us. I don't feel safe at all. Things need to change, the algorithm needs to change. We need to stand together because we're more powerful in numbers. And honestly, standing here, watching our videos get demonetized, it's disheartening, it hurts, and it needs to end right now.
Hi, I'm Lindsay Amer with Queer Kid Stuff on YouTube. I'm suing Google and YouTube because from day one as an LGBTQ plus creator on YouTube, I've faced discrimination on a platform that touts its support of my community. For years, it's affected my mental health and my livelihood. I've suffered and I've watched firsthand as my community of creators has suffered. For a long time, I wondered why YouTube allows this to happen. It's simple. They don't care. They use our important content to feed their bottom line, and they simply just don't care about us. They don't care about the importance of our work, they don't care about our mental health, and they don't care about our livelihood. Only their own profits. It's high time that we call their bluff. It's time they pay for the damage they've done.
Hi, I'm Amp Summers from What's the Safe Word on YouTube, and this is why I'm suing Google. Growing up, I was in a very religious household. I didn't get any sort of gay education, let alone queer education that applied to me and the sex that I was going to have. I create content on the internet that I wish I would have had growing up, but we're finding it harder and harder to create content on this platform. Google and YouTube continue to censor us and tell us that we're not breaking any rules, but that our content is still not allowed and going to be restricted on this platform.
Hi, I'm Salsa Dule.
And I'm Cameron Steele. We're co-hosts of San Francisco's GlitterBombTV.com.
And we're longtime creators on YouTube.
We are suing Google and YouTube because of blatant discrimination against us as part of the LGBTQ plus community.
And they refused us advertising because of the gay thing.
Together, we are the LGBTQ plaintiffs in a class action lawsuit against Google and YouTube. We are not going to stand by any longer and let our community be dismissed, belittled, and discriminated against. You can help by sharing this video and our message. We're using the hashtags #LGBTQ versus Google YouTube, #Don'tBeEvil, #BeEqual. Or you can join the fight with us.
For more information about our case, or if you'd like to share a similar situation you've experienced, email us at rainbowcoalition@divinogroup.net.
Probably not much. We were sitting as we watched this video. This is breaking news as we speak. The class action lawsuit has been filed today against Google and YouTube. Any quick thoughts?
I have a quick thought. They should as did Laura Loomer go and file a $3 billion lawsuit against Facebook for censoring conservative voices. And I agree with the lawsuit, and I support it. And
We heard you. Any other thoughts?
Yeah, business is business. At the end of the day, it's the bottom line. If you're being discriminated against, then we're being discriminated against. It's not silly. It's important.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
I'm curious to see how this evolves. So
All
if you're
right.
involved.
We will win.
We're going to move on out of It's Happening.
Oh, I have one more for happening now, though. This one is about Illinois. They are now mandating that schools teach LGBTQ history. And what this means is that children will grow up knowing the importance of LGBTQ culture, not just to its own spectrum, but to all of humanity.
Good.
Great job.
Absolutely not. They're children. They don't need to learn about that until they're older.
Happening
Absolutely
now.
not.
We're, and by the way, Illinois' move that's going to take place shortly is the 4th state in America that is doing LGBT history education in
Yay.
school systems in the state. 4th state.
Boo! Boo!
Let's move on to a game. Let's play a game called I'd Swallow That.
Oh, thank God.
We invite all of the restaurant patrons here at Bubbles and Pearls to participate along with us.
Play
I'm
along.
going to ask 3 questions. If you agree, you take the shot. If you don't, you don't. All right, everybody ready?
Ready.
Here we go. I'd swallow that. Question 1. I would stop dating a person if I found out they had a weird hobby. A weird hobby. I wouldn't want to date
like
them.
how weird?
What's the weird hobby?
Dog collecting. Well, it could be anything.
I
Dog
thought-
collecting, had too many pets.
I might.
I thought you were going to say if they had a weird penis. My whole brain was going there.
Like the Clinton penis?
Well, 40% of all of the people that watch our show are women, so...
Some of them like penis.
Okay, all right. Any
Yeah,
other comments?
probably a lot of them.
Yes,
Yeah,
right.
it really
All
depends
right.
how weird
No,
we're
I didn't-
talking.
Yeah. Like, I mean, eating bugs or flies.
It could
or
be anything.
Anything, yeah.
You won't date Simba from The Lion King? Oh.
Question.
I'm not going to read too far into it.
All right, right. All right, let's move on. I'd swallow that. Question number 2. I must admit, a post-gym musky scent really turns me on.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
This one gets 2.
Most?
Be ready for next week. Super excited for Mr. IML to be here. It's going to be a blast. It's going to be musty. You're going to smell it at home, folks.
I'm curious.
And you're
Napoleon.
going to be sitting here with an erection.
I'm curious.
Not next to this one.
I'm curious. Napoleon, being the millennial male, 2 males, but I turn to one of the males.
Nice
Do
pick.
you have a musky embracement? Do you like to?
What do you take a sniff? All of America wants you to take a sniff. I've been paid for this sniff before. Come on in. I think it's glorious. You want to do it?
All right.
Give it a lick
All
next
right.
time.
It got really humid up here.
It
all
smells
of a
like Kugel to me.
Wait. What does that smell like?
Man, it's been a while since you've had that smell.
Speaking of weird
All right.
hobbies.
We're
It still smells like Kugel.
I just want to remind America, Jack's going to be here as a guest host next week, and I'm still trying to decide who's not going to be here. All right, question number 3. I'd swallow that. I'd swallow that. There is someone on this cast
Here we go.
that I am willing to make out with right now if I had to.
If I had to. Okay, if I had to.
L'chaim.
Laheim.
I feel like, you know, when you're a kid and you play spin the bottle and you're like, I want it to land on Joey. Yeah, land it on Joey. And then it lands on the girl with like the braces and like the boils and you're like, okay.
Right.
What did I just get into?
Right. Oh, speaking of
called
that.
team building.
Speaking of that.
I think, did everybody take a shot?
I think everybody
Yeah.
did. We're going to come to that in a moment. But speaking of that
Aaron, I'm
observation,
so proud.
congratulations, Andrew. I understand it is Happy Gay Uncle's Day, and you're the gayest uncle I can possibly imagine on this planet.
And my
All right.
nieces and great nieces and love me to
Right?
death.
That
I'm
was
the
the,
favorite gay
that
uncle.
was the
Exactly.
joke I made. I'm curious, Aaron, who would you make out with? You took the shot?
I would make out with Chef Josie.
I knew I was going.
Hell yeah. Listen, I was
BDE, baby.
I was a successful little lesbian for a while when I was trying to do that, you know, before I figured things out. And women are good kissers. I'm sorry. Men are just sloppy.
You
heard it here.
Thank you, lesbians.
Do you
Thank
see
you,
those
lesbians in
lips
the audience.
right
If you
there?
can't hear it on our microphones, the restaurant is applauding vigorously. Apparently, there's quite a many.
Prove it.
All right, so back
Wait,
to you. Who would
Aaron,
who
prove
would
it.
you make out with?
It's funny, Aaron.
Really?
Girls stay together, boys.
Yeah, I have you guys all by like numbered actually. And that
Oh, wow, we're
question, I was
ordered.
like, you know, we just go down the line.
So did we just like swipe
Wait,
right on Tinder? Is that what
wait.
happened?
America, this is the Barbara Walters in me. Let's go right down the line. Aaron's number 1.
Okay, Aaron's number 1. Yeah. Napoleon number 2. Power number 3.
You are a bitch.
Take the younger one. Go with the younger one.
You're number 4 because we're just too friendly,
We are
man.
we are
I like
we are
that.
friends.
Yeah,
we
like,
are uber friends. It would be like kissing my
All right,
sister.
Josie, get me back on the show next
and
week.
sorry, man, Trump. It turns me off like you more than you know. Okay.
But it's just a hobby.
All right.
It's just a hobby.
It's a hobby.
All right, exactly right. We'll talk later. And actually, I was number 1 at the table, but she couldn't say it because I would have said my number 1 at the table is also you, but we can't do it
It's
because
sexual.
we're like brother and sister
You're just
now, right?
mad that you got
Isn't that true?
That's exactly.
Are y'all from West Virginia?
And the thing with Power is that Power is like my homie too. It's like you're in the homie zone. These guys
That's
here,
right.
It's new relationship.
They're still at play.
New
Right,
trick.
exactly.
Still fresh.
Wait, one more thing. Josie and I talk about dick and breast all the time.
Oh, yeah.
All the time.
All the time.
I know what she likes. She knows what I like.
Yeah.
But just not with each other. It's
Yeah.
like, no. But I cheer you, and
Yeah.
I'm so happy for Marcy.
All right, hey.
And you're so happy for don't insert a name. All right, that's our game. I'd swallow that.
We're getting to know each
All right,
other.
let's move on to celebrity hot topics. Gosh, there's a lot. Have you heard about DJ Diplo? He almost crashed in a plane this week. And by the way, apparently, it is a common phenomenon to worry about crashing in a plane and coming out simultaneously. We put this in front of you. Look at what happened. He did this tweet live while his plane window was cracking up. And he said, "Oh my goodness, my window is cracking up. You see it? My jet window just cracked open. And as you see, also, I never told you this, but I might be gay."
Oh, wow.
Wait.
Better late than never.
Diplo comes out because he thinks he's going to die.
He thinks he's going to die, but he's sitting there spending this hour writing out this paragraph, adding bold and parentheses and italics to the B. He's like sitting. He's had this monologue ready to go.
All right. Diplo, we're with you. We welcome you to our broad gay community. Welcome, Diplo. Do it a little faster next time, dude. Topic 2 in Celebrity Hot Topics, and that is about Playboy. Have you heard? We're going to show you a slide.
Ooh.
The new editor-in-chief at Playboy is gay. At Playboy, the editor is gay. In fact, the gay lifestyle is now going to be shaping the heterosexual fantasies of men all over the world.
The gay life.
Because he's really cute if that's him.
And by the way, we show you in that slide something that Frank Garcia pointed out to me. Every single cover issue since 1959 has hidden the Playboy bunny in the cover. And that's where they hid it on this announcement, in the nipple.
Yeah.
Interesting to me. All right.
Frank
That's a
would know
totally
that.
different meaning to Queer Eye for the straight guy.
Other right.
Good one.
Other interesting things with this is Gina Rosero has been announced as the first trans Asian playmate. Remember Carmen Carrera?
Yes.
From RuPaul's Drag Race? It
My
was,
girl from
she
Jersey.
tried and tried and tried and ultimately did not become a Victoria's Secret model. And that's what's here. And speaking of Victoria's Secret, they have now hired their first trans model, and that is Valentina. And you see that here.
Hot, gorgeous.
First trans model
Smoking.
for
My future ex-wife.
Victoria's
She's gorgeous.
Secret. Wow.
Tens,
Yeah, she's
tens
pretty stunning.
across
She's
the
pretty
board.
stunning.
Call me.
She's perfect.
Yeah.
Any thoughts about Playboy? Quick thoughts?
It has no reference on sexual orientation or whatever. It's best who fits the job. like President Trump has hired
No.
gays,
We're not
women,
going there.
and black. It's who is best to do the job. If these
America.
people are the best ones to do the job, let them have the job.
America, I wish you could be sitting in my seat and see the sea of booing that just took place.
But I am correct. It's best
All right.
who does the
Moving
job.
on in celebrity headlines, Chris
Okay.
Francis.
Or
Chris
just
Francis,
I'm on
a very famous shock comedian, has died this week. And a personal friend of this show at It's Happening Out is Howard Andrew at Fab Scout. And he really talked about the importance of Chris Francis's passing. Let us show you a little bit about Chris Francis. We're going to show you a little video here.
What's your name, sir? Steve, of course. And which one of these girls are you in, Steve? Yeah, both of them. Don't fucking lie to me. Listen, Steve, I know a little secret. Every time you jack off, you lose a hair in your head. You've been pretty busy. One more time and your nose is gonna fucking fall out. Jesus Christ, you probably beat your meat like it owes you money, don't you? Oh, you poor bastard. And are you a single girl? No. Do you have a husband? Boyfriend? Husband? Where's your husband? He left because he didn't want me to talk about him? Oh, okay. What's his name? Carlos. Okay, so Carlos Alvarez. So we know where he is. He's in a tunnel near Mexico somewhere, delivering the goods. Okay.
Yeah. I see you,
Thank
girls.
you. That's very kind of everybody. We celebrate the life of Chris Francis tonight here at It's Happening Out.
Blessed.
That's our celebrity hot topics. Let's move into our headlines. We have many. First, i.c.e. i.c.e. has been promising this for about a month. They implemented it in the last couple of days. In Mississippi, 680 undocumented immigrants were separated from their children and arrested by ICE. Let us show you a little video of what happened there.
Fighting back tears, 11-year-old Magdalena Gomez Gregorio expressed to us her devastation being alone without her dad.
Governments, please put your heart. Let my parents be free with everybody else, please. Don't leave the child with cryness and everything.
This came after ICE agents raided several food plants across Mississippi, arresting 680 people believed to be in the country illegally.
While we are a nation of immigrants, more than that, we are first and foremost a nation of laws.
But those children left behind and families impacted by each raid stress their parents and friends are good people.
I need my dad for me. My dad didn't do nothing. He's not a criminal.
The children I'm with right now, their mom been here for 15 years. She has no record, no nothing. A lot of people here has no record. They've been here 12 years, 10 years, 15 years.
For Christina Persolta, who's the godmother of 2 children whose mom was arrested, she's felt helpless watching all day as the boys wonder when they'll see their mother again.
He said that his mom is gone, that he's upset with Trump. He said he just wants his mom back. And they're both crying. They've been crying about all day since they got home from school.
So ICE moves in to Mississippi. Any thoughts?
Yes, I have thoughts. First of all, we need to find a better way. This is why immigration reform is so very important. Right now, yes, it is criminal to enter the country illegally. But you know what else was criminal? The Holocaust was legal at one point, and hiding Jews was criminalized. Slavery was legal at one point, and freeing slaves was criminalized. Segregation at one point was legal, and protesting slavery was criminalized. So the fact of the matter is, legality is not a guide to morality. We need to find a better way.
Let's do that.
Wait.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well said.
Wait.
Well said.
Howard, how dare you compare this?
I dare. The last person that asked me how dare I.
No one can hear either one of you.
How dare I? Let me explain to you. I dare. Don't ever ask me how dare I do shit. I open my mouth. I say what the fuck I want to say.
All right,
that's how I
don't say
dare.
the fuck what I want. How dare you compare this to the Holocaust?
I dare. I
How
said
dare
it.
you?
Let me say it again.
Speak up being a Jew.
The Holocaust was legal.
Andrew.
Hiding
Firstly,
Jews
if
was
I wanna-
criminalized. I brought up the Holocaust because it made a point. Legality
not bring
is
up
the
a
guide
point.
to
Andrew.
morality.
They came
I
across-
said what I said. If you don't like it, tap me on the shoulder when you see me after the show.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Andrew,
Also,
if you have enough, wait. I want to move into other headlines.
Thank you. Move
I'm
on.
going-
Moving on.
you're heard loud and clear.
Move on.
Unless you have something else, I want to move on.
Move on.
Don't
All
speak
right.
on behalf
Thank
of me.
you.
Next.
Or
But
take
you
a
don't
stand.
speak up being a
Thank
Jew,
you.
and that's why I'm
Thank you.
frustrated.
You
with
don't
you.
understand my
Thank
culture's
you.
history.
Okay.
You don't
Thank
need to
you.
voice
Yes,
up
I
for it.
do.
Thank
I
you.
do.
Moving on. Where's the
We
tape from last week?
Talk from. Wait, did we just have a Jared play it back?
Yeah, I'm taking
All right,
notes.
right. Take notes. All right. Next headline we want to talk about. We want to do a follow-up about El Paso and Ohio, about the mass shootings. Are you ready, America? Here's the follow-up to the mass shootings over last weekend. A company has announced, and this is true, a back-to-school special for students and teachers purchasing bulletproof backpacks for children to purchase bulletproof backpacks. What they have said in their marketing campaign for $99, purchase a bulletproof backpack, and their marketing says you will feel better knowing that your student is carrying a bulletproof backpack for protection. A teacher can also benefit from one of these in case of unforeseen circumstances. It seems to me to summarize the issue of mass shooting in America. Any quick thoughts about the news
Yeah,
here?
I have some thoughts. So I've got an 11-year-old at home who returned to school today. And I got to tell you, I would be absolutely lying if I said that I have not seriously considered purchasing one of these backpacks.
There's a bullseye.
It's terrifying, and it's what's more terrifying than my own fear about what could happen to my kid is that he is so used to it. It's just normal to him, and it's terrifying. This is a symbol of a cultural shift that we are going through, where the best are getting better, but the worst are getting worse, and I don't know where it's headed, but...
You know, 15 years ago, that image that you see in this slide would have been a joke made in Funny or Die. And now, today, it's not funny, and you can die.
It's not funny. When I was a kid, we had tornado drills. When my kid goes to school, they have active shooter drills.
But you know, because of the shooting in Parkland, Broward County has put in over 24 monitors to monitor our schools.
Listen, that is
wait.
not a solution. That's not a
Whatever
solution.
it takes to protect our kids is the priority. And if they need backpacks like this, and if we need teachers to pack,
the kids is
and
Or they
that's
need
what we need.
gun
Well, no, we need
I
gun laws
support
to
this.
protect the
We
kids.
do
Where's
not,
that aspect?
gun laws.
reform.
No, it's not the gun laws.
Gun
it's
reform.
the gunmen who have no hearts or God in their
reform.
life.
I think that
That
a
is the
backpack
bottom line.
need not gun laws
America,
to control
I
the
just
gun
point out to
population.
you.
No, absolutely not.
I just point out to you. You do?
Whoa.
Yes.
Stop.
Wait.
Wait.
Oh, yes.
Rewind.
Yes.
Wait.
I agree with Andrew.
Wait,
It's
a punch is coming.
Yes, it's the gunmen that don't have God in their hearts and that are crazy and this and that. That's why we need gun reform so that we don't let those
Not
guns
gun
get into
reform.
those gunmen's
All right.
hands.
Yeah.
That's why we need the gun law.
That's why
Other
we need gun
headlines.
reform.
Other headlines in the news.
What's next?
Did you know that drag queens are offensive in reading stories to children in libraries? Well, we found that out.
Well,
this week.
we're offensive when we read. Period.
That's right.
Hello.
Which Power does to me, by
read?
the way, frequently. Power does to me frequently. All right.
Can you read?
People ask that about
Do
the
you-
Republicans all the time.
Can you hear me? I'm not sure if you can hear me. I'm just making sure you can. Drag Queen Story Hour comes to our own backyard. We have this slide here to show you about something that really was big news this week in Central Florida, in Orlando, and in Tampa Bay. Drag queens are reading stories to children in libraries, and they are being picketed by conservative religious groups. Any thoughts about what's happening?
They're being picked on just because drag queens are reading to their children.
Yes.
Yes.
It's the only reason.
Yes. Well, there is. I brought this to the attention of our community. There is a lady her name is the mommy activist or the activist mommy, and I really don't care enough to give her the respect to get her name right. But she goes around the country, and she is very right-wing. I think right-wing extremist, and she goes and not only pickets and shuts down drag queen story hours around the country, and she's actually successful. She has a very huge following. But she goes and she pickets and she rallies against, for example, Planned Parenthood. She shows up and stops people from getting into abortion clinics. And right now her focus is on the LGBT community, and she is going around she shut it down in Jacksonville, Florida. The only thing is that we rallied in St. Pete, bitch, and we let this bitch know you're not gonna do it over here.
Well,
you're not gonna do it over here.
First off, let me point out a couple. No, I'm going to go to you first. Go ahead. Say whatever you would like to say.
No.
In 20
drag
seconds.
queen to drag queen, we respect each other. We're adults. These are children who do not need to have drag queens talking to them. Drag queens need to be going to the assisted living and the nursing homes and uplifting them.
May I
not
ask,
confusing
please,
these
allow me.
children.
Why is this confusing for children?
Because they don't know. They're little
They don't know
kids.
what? That people
They don't
exist in different
know.
sexualities and that different types
You're
of...
forcing it onto them that they do not need. They need to be fucking children.
They are children.
And
Other people
play
exist.
games and Barbie dolls.
Andrew,
trucks.
why are you
That's
screaming?
forcing straight
Why are you
bullshit onto
screaming?
them. So
Because I couldn't hear myself.
Andrew, all of these things exist in life. You're hiding your children from reality to not expose them to other people. Are you afraid of children that get introduced to drag queens? Do you think a drag queen is going to hurt them?
If
are
they're
you
in high
scared?
school, not in elementary school.
So you're scared a drag queen would hurt a high school student? Is that
Yes,
what you just
they
said?
need to. These kids don't have the mental capacity to accept or understand transgendered or.
I knew how to understand transgender when I was that age and I was transgender.
But you don't understand. No.
Wait.
And I
not.
wish I had somebody
Wait.
like that to be a role model for me.
Hey,
We have
Andrew,
gotten away.
you're screaming. You're
We
screaming.
have gotten away from God, Christian,
Wait.
and
Well, let's be
the,
thankful for
the
that.
Pledge of Allegiance of the flag.
Let's be
and
thankful
a
for
moment
that.
of silence.
Andrew,
These children need.
You're
to
talking
be
over me.
Children, and I will talk over you because I'm very passionate
You
about.
choose to. America, Andrew chooses to talk over me. Let me rephrase the question to your observation to see if we can find any truth.
Okay.
Is it appropriate for an 8-year-old or a 10-year-old to watch a Disney movie and understand love between Prince Charming and Snow White? What is the difference?
It is
the difference. Is one wasn't consenting.
No, wait, I want to hear. I want to hear what he has to say.
What is the difference?
It is a huge difference because in traditional families,
There
you
we
have
go.
a male and a female.
Andrew, you're heard loud and clear.
But
you're heard.
let me finish.
Okay.
But when
The
you're
same
a
tradition that
wait,
kept
wait,
many of our people
excuse
in
me,
our
Josie.
community in the closet.
Excuse me,
Okay,
Josie,
It's-
let me finish.
we're moving forward.
I'm
Excuse me,
I'm
Josie,
on
let me
every
finish.
word, Andrew, and then I'm going to destroy your observation.
Okay, that's
Yes.
fine.
I
That's
want to
fine.
hear.
But children need to be children playing with dolls or trucks or whatever. They do not need to be infiltrated
Andrew,
by a drag
wait.
queen.
Let me try one other way. Please, America, allow me to try this. Andrew, you're heard loud and clear. You do not need to scream the same point again and again and again.
Or put your hand in
The
my
only question that I ask now is it reasonable for you two and people who feel the way you do, reasonable to consider that society trains 8-year-olds that the boy and the girl in a love story is appropriate and that therefore we should consider that training is not universally true anymore. Is that even possible in your world?
It absolutely is. And when they grow up into high school,
We're talking
and
about
older,
8 and 10-year-olds.
No, they have no concept.
Your answer,
they
I got
cannot
it.
comprehend
Wait,
it.
please allow me to end this conversation. It is not possible for you to consider the training we do for 8-year-olds who do not understand sex yet, understand that there's love between a heterosexual male and a woman, a male and a female. You are not capable of saying yet in your world that is possible for 2 men or 2 women. That's what you're saying for an 8-year-old.
What I'm saying is we cannot train children to be who they are. Let them grow to be who they are.
Please, I'm gonna try one more time. Andrew, the reason so many people think your position, the Republican position, is batshit crazy.
It's my position, not the Republican position.
And it is
My
a very
position.
conservative position, is I put it right in front of you. 8-year-olds are trained to believe that Snow White and Prince Charming are natural. They're trained and educated to believe
But
that.
let them grow up when they get into junior high or
America,
high school to make that discussion.
I gave it a try. I can't push it beyond that. All right, let's move on. In other news headlines, Jeffrey Epstein commits suicide this week. Okay. He commits suicide. We're not going to talk about all of the child issues related to the billionaire Epstein. We instead are going to talk about what President Trump tweeted. Of course, Epstein's suicide was because of Hillary Clinton. We show you the slide here, and I read the tweet that came from Donald Trump. That died of a suicide while under 24/7 suicide watch? Question mark. This is coming from the President of the United States. Yeah, right. How does that happen? Hashtag Jeffrey Epstein had information on Bill Clinton, and now he is dead. What do y'all think about the conspiracy theories from the President of the United States?
Well, who wants, is anybody, okay, look.
Go power.
First of all, Donald Trump's defense to this is, I didn't tweet it, I retweeted it.
It's so ridiculous.
Which is actually, we've heard this before, when something that he tweets doesn't make any sense or is absolutely baseless, he wants to say, well, I just retweeted it. No, bitch, you retweeted it from 650,000 or whatever this guy has followers to 60-something million because you actually believe it. But let's look at the things that Donald Trump has pushed because he is a conspiracy theorist. He has, his baseless theories include Senator Ted Cruz's dad was involved in JFK's assassination. Remember that? Justice Anthony Scalia was murdered. Remember that?
And Hillary killed him, too.
Right. Joe Scarborough may have been involved in his intern's death. Remember that? And, of course, the big one, Obama birther movement, which, of course, was racist. So we already know that President Trump is whack. We already know that you cannot believe anything he says. He's Don the Con, and we should really not take anything that he says seriously. Period.
All right. One more moment.
No,
one more
good.
moment. Andrew, I'm going to give you one more moment.
Oh.
Sorry.
I thought we were going to.
I'm giving you one more moment. I have so much more to talk about.
Okay, I'm just going to say that everything that President Trump has tweeted has been true.
No, it hasn't. No, it hasn't. No, it hasn't. No, it hasn't.
All right.
No, it hasn't. Because Obama is a citizen.
All right. No, Andrew, please don't move.
No, it hasn't. Because Obama is a citizen.
You know we're doing a live television show, right?
I will not have my flag on the ground.
You are doing a live television show. I'm getting ready to implement discipline on your participation.
Anything can happen.
You getting up from the table violates a rule that I will not accept again.
And I will not have my flag put on the floor. The American flag put on the floor.
Okay. And I agree with that too.
Oh,
all right.
boy.
I want to move on to.
I have a fire extinguisher.
We
behind
are
the bar.
gayest place on planet Earth. America, I'm going to prove it to you that Wilton Drive is the gayest place on planet Earth. This week, we made national news with a nude bicyclist.
Oh, Lord.
Watch this. Oh, we're going to show the video. Right, I'm sorry. And we're going to talk over it. But as you watch this video that's coming up in front of us, on Wilton Drive, just a block or so from Chef Josie, this gentleman riding a bike was completely nude and apparently thought it was A-OK.
A-OK.
And we've had to because he's completely nude.
I was A-OK with it.
We're worried about Google saying, there's the gay stuff. So we're going to cover him up a little to make sure. But you know what you saw in this.
Homophobic.
Right? What do y'all think about seeing something like
I've thought
this
plenty
in Wilton
about him
Manors
since
on
this
Wilton?
happened. I mean,
This is happening on
Okay.
famous Wilton Drive.
I have
Right?
thought plenty about him.
I'll tell you what I really love about it is it's something that I love about LA. All the freaks come out in LA. So Wilton Manors seems to be adopting that same philosophy. So
We are the gayest place.
come
on
on out,
planet Earth.
freaks. We love it. Love the show. Thanks for the free entertainment.
Is he still locked up?
He is. He's still in jail.
Oh, I love
Okay,
him.
well, I'm about to bail him out.
You're about to bail him out?
Yes,
All right.
ma'am.
I'm dying of curiosity, America. Does the conservative Republican Party have any observations on nudist bicycles on Welton Drive?
Flacca is alive in Wilton.
Okay. All right. I want to thank Paul. That video, by the way, is from Hush Spa. And Antonio has been a guest host on this show many times, and one of his stylists is the one that captured that
Was
video.
that exclusive just for our show? Because I've not seen that
well,
angle of the
we bought it up just like that, so nobody would know. That's not true. It wasn't exclusive for us. All right. Those are our headlines this week. We want to move into some of our big topics. First off, let's return to straight prides. A lot of stuff in the news this week again. Are we looking forward to not talking about straight pride?
Yes.
Because we have to.
Yeah.
But I'm looking forward to not. First off, the president of Modesto's Straight Christian Pride went before the city commission in Modesto, California, and he had a little faux pas, a little mistake. We captured that video testifying before the city commission. Watch this.
To justify attacks against us in that park, and when they come, you're going to turn right around and say, well, we deserved it. We haven't done anything. We're a totally peaceful racist group.
Okay, America, I can just tell you, if
Exactly.
you're advocating having a non-racist straight Christian pride, you probably don't want to tell the city commission you're a white racist supremacist group. We have a slide here. Guess what happened? The permit was denied.
Oh.
There is not going to be a Modesto Christian straight pride as originally
Scoochie
planned.
scooch.
Scoochie
Scoochie
scooch.
scooch.
Next.
Right. Now, in other news, the big straight pride parade in Boston is going to happen the last Saturday of this month in August. And guess who they announced was going to be the Grand Marshal? My favorite Republican boy, Milo, the former editor of Breitbart. Now, I know all of you already know this, but let me connect the dots. Milo, the Grand Marshal for the first ever straight pride in America, is
a queen,
gay,
And a Nazi.
A happy homo.
and right. That you could apply many announcements or adjectives to him. Let me read you what Milo said about being the Grand Marshal. This summarizes straight pride completely. Milo said on the announcement, I might technically be sequined and perfectly coiffed, dude, you're not, friend of Dorothy's, but I've spent my entire career advocating for the rights of America's most brutally repressed identity, straight people. So I know a thing or two about discrimination. And that's what he said. And then he used the phrase, we're here, not queer.
Oh my
So
God.
we have a second slide that we're showing you about super happy, fun America. And you can see this slide now. I spent some time, and production spent some time, really looking at the group closer. Look at these images. I'm with the heteros, and I especially love this. Straight pride in the middle, going to be shot with guns by the LGBT community, celebrities, SMM, SWJs, Donald Trump's post.
Oh my God.
And I thought it was particularly interesting that this conservative straight pride organization would use guns
Right.
as a weapon toward them.
Oh, this is them saying we're being attacked.
We're being
This is-
attacked.
They created this?
And this is
Oh,
children
Lord.
iconography. That's someone that's supposed
Yeah.
to look like Wonder Woman, and it's Pokemon.
All
They're
right.
using children's
No, but it's
medium.
ridiculous, guys. It's ridiculous right now. Okay, the fact that we're the ones that are being discriminated, we have our laws being changed, where there are things coming at us, and it's so hilarious. Don't you think that it's pretty funny that all now these big corporations want gay people to head up their straight?
But that's exactly.
It's like, no, you want to discriminate against us, but you want to go and suck our creativity and our brains and our ideas and our everything that we offer. You know,
there is something to be said for that, though. We've been fighting for equality. Now, just like the gay dollar is something that has gone after, these guys can go after straight dollars because a lot of this is to raise money. I mean, this guy is straight for pay.
You know,
so
what?
let's
he's
him
totally
it.
straight for pay.
It's not
totally.
just, it's not just a money raising thing.
He's
though.
straight
It's
for
deeper
pay.
than that. And this is, and you know, I don't think it's ridiculous, and I don't think it's hilarious. Because this whole straight pride thing, we've been talking about this for weeks.
Yeah.
Okay, and why? During LGBT Pride Month this year, from May 15th to July 15th, okay, the month of June and their surrounding, 14 homicides we saw in this country of LGBT people, 7 black trans women specifically. And this is all during Pride Month. So as much as we gain our visibility, we end up in a situation where the straight, traditional family roles crowd is angry and is trying to assert their authority. That's what straight pride is all about.
Yeah. Now, I have a question, and Josie's brought this up several weeks in a row. What laws are being taken away from the LGBT community?
Oh, Lord.
What laws? I am still the gay man that walked in here today.
Wait. No, I'm sorry. We're not going to have that conversation.
But no, she brought it up. She said that we are taking.
Then I'm taking the table back.
Our laws
I'm taking
away.
the table back. I'm taking the table back. Our conversation right now, which is what I wanted to ask you, from a conservative standpoint, a conservative movement, have you heard or read any observations from the conservative community of what they think about this movement on straight pride? Has there been any observation?
Can I be honest with you?
Yeah.
No.
None at all.
No, wait, I'm being honest.
Yeah, they're not taking a position one way or the other. Okay, all right. Well, that's the news, and I want to move on from that. Before we move into our next segment, we want to run a commercial about Josie and I's favorite restaurant with empanadas. So watch this. Hey, Napoleon. We have got to get some food for the host, and so I brought you to this new restaurant that's open. It's called Almas Empanadas. Do you like empanadas?
I do like empanadas, and we're here. Let's give it a go.
Hey, Joe, how are you?
Hey, Al, how are you doing?
Good. 2 empanadas for each host, 5 hosts, and do a selection for everybody. The guava and cheese, that's right. And the mushroom and brie. Thank you. All right.
Wow. Woo! Oh my gosh. This is what community smells like.
That's exactly that's awesome. You can do mushroom and brie. That's my favorite. You can do beef, Cuban. They have a special that starts at the end of the month. If you come on Sundays and you order 4 empanadas, it's bottomless mimosas.
Okay.
They do fresh deliveries, so that's great for me, so they can deliver to my house, and of course, full catering. Almas Empanadas. We are really loving it. We thank our sponsors, Almas Empanadas. It's a great restaurant. Josie introduced me to it, and we love it. Wait, there's a new face at the table.
A sexy
empanadas. Right. What a natural transition from empanadas to exercise, physiology, and health.
Yeah.
We would like to welcome Ty. And Ty is a very famous fitness expert and personal trainer. And we're doing among one of our first segments on gay health and exercise. And I can't believe it's taken us so long to get to it because it's a central issue. So first, Ty, we welcome you to It's Happening Out.
Woo! Welcome.
All right,
I need help.
Let me give you a quick setup here. And before we show you this video package we've put together, Ty is a fitness trainer that does a very special program called The Program. And it's caught a lot of attention in the country about a new approach in terms of how especially gay men and women can exercise and participate in fitness training, and Ty is going to. We're having some technical difficulties. I can move forward.
Keep it rolling.
Ty comes
Yes,
up to the
yes.
camera and all the tech equipment.
I mean,
breaks.
really, I
Beautiful.
think it's a setup.
Yeah.
It's a
All right.
setup.
It's the Republican.
Unbelievable.
Actually,
all of a sudden,
Girl,
can't
the
hear me.
Republican microphone you're using now.
That leads me into the thing that I wanted to start with. Before we get into the exercise program, when I came, I told Ty this before the show. When I came here, Ty was one of the big names in this community. And I told Ty my story. I've lost 300 pounds in the last 4 years.
So amazing.
And Ty's, the program is so similar to what I did, but in a much more intense way. And what was interesting to me is Ty is from Haiti.
Yes.
Ty is a woman.
Right.
Ty is black.
Am
no.
I?
Yeah.
Really?
By the way. And all three potentially could have some mitigating effects of being this badass trainer in South Florida.
I'm trying,
and
baby.
You break every stereotype. Tell us about that experience and what your experience
You know,
has been.
it's not growing up. I mean, I started when I was 17. So we moved from Haiti when I was 3, and you just didn't talk about being gay. So it was very taboo in Haiti. I moved here when I was 3. You know, we went to Catholic school. We were Catholic, so there was, you know, if you're gay, you're burning. That's it. And so, you know, fast forward, 17 years old, worked in the gym, nursery, front desk, personal trainer, and now my own business. Moving into Wilton Manors has changed my life, you know, because I've never experienced more love than I have in these 3 years.
And that's interesting to me. So you're Haitian, in Haiti, a Catholic community,
right?
Not super embracive of the gay community.
No, not at all.
You're female, as I said. You're black,
right?
But you're also strike 4. You're straight.
Exactly.
Exactly.
I got no business here.
And you come into this community and basically whip the gay boys and girls' asses of saying, we're going to change everything.
Yes, yes.
You create this program called The Program. Tell us a little bit about how that program works.
So it's a 5-week program, and when I always hesitate explaining it, because when I say 5 weeks, most people think, oh, it's that quick fad thing, 30 days, we're going to get in shape really quickly, and it's not that at all. It's just a tidbit. It's just a little motivational way where you can lose weight at a fast pace, because it's broken up into 3 phases. And so first phase is a cleanse. Then we do ketosis.
Define a cleanse.
The cleanse
for viewers that might not know. What does that mean?
The cleanse is with, we just do it with fruits, vegetables, and the holy water, as my gay guys like to call it.
The holy water.
That's right. When they're getting ready for market days. Okay, they drink a ton of holy water.
You do know the gay community.
Honey.
Welcome
it's 95% of my clientele.
Right.
Yes, it is. It's
very good.
become almost, I would say, a specialty.
I can tell you, not having, I'm going to come to G21, where her gym, and I have not participated in the program. But when she says that 95% of her customers here, her clients in South Florida, are gay men, there can be only one conclusion to that statement. You really kick people's asses.
I take it very seriously.
Yeah.
Very seriously. Because they are my walking billboard. I actually not get rid of clients, but move clients to other trainers if they are not in line. Because the last thing I would want is to have a client be with me for a year and he's gaining weight and not getting into the best shape of his life.
Yeah. In the program, I understand the next step of your program is this really hot buzzword.
Oh, everybody's doing it.
Health industry called ketosis.
That's right.
Explain to us ketosis.
Yeah, so ketosis is a metabolic state. Your body is used to using complex carbs, potatoes, bread, all the yummy stuff as its main source of energy. Once you omit that out of your diet,
wait, I have to give up bread?
Yeah, honey. We just look at it.
You've always thought of yourself as Oprah. Now
yeah. There's none of that.
Not the Pillsbury Doughboy anymore.
So your body now, because it's not using the complex carbs, it's now using your stored body fat. So what that means is we can do this interview right now, and you're burning fat. Instead of having to work out to burn the fat, you're sitting, you're sleeping, you're whatever it is that you're doing, you're burning fat at a resting heart rate.
You're speaking my language.
Then I understand the third component of the program, which I learned in my program, but in a completely different way, is maintenance.
That's
to
correct.
stay in a target
It's the
zone.
most important
Well,
phase.
explain that to us.
It
Why
is the
is
most
that?
important phase. It's the maintenance. I mean, I consider myself successful if a client comes to me 3 years later and they're still on the program, phase 3, which is the maintenance, because you have to be able to sustain it. So I show clients how whatever the goal was, we met it. How do we sustain it? You know, in this community, everybody likes their cocktails. You know, every night there's something going on. So I show them you can still look this way. You can still be in the best shape of your life and enjoy a cocktail or two.
Can you
maintain it?
Can you have red wine?
Absolutely.
Oh, thank God. Then I.
But honey,
can't
but you have to
into
get
your
there
program.
first. You got to get there first.
Oh.
You can't. I'm not giving it. I'm not saying you're not.
That was
there.
a read.
I didn't say he wasn't there. I just said.
Roll down that mic.
No.
You're
You're
give me
right.
that back.
said he-
Toss that mic
You're
down.
right.
I like her.
You're right.
May I
You're
ask
right.
a question of Ty?
Okay.
Ty, a lot of us have gone over the years.
Yeah.
Everybody wants instant gratification.
That's
because
correct.
it took you a year to add the 30, 40 pounds.
That's correct.
How do you work with that to get us back?
So that's
because everybody wants it in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and they really don't want to do the sacrifice.
And so the 5-week thing, it's almost like, oh, I could get it done in 5 weeks. The fat thing, nobody wants to admit it. We all like the fat thing. But I do explain to them that 5 weeks is this small in comparison to the bigger picture. Because you didn't put it on overnight,
Right.
and it's not coming off in 5 weeks.
And that's very important, I think.
Absolutely.
I want to complete. We're showing this video now up here of at G21 in the
G21,
program
baby.
by Ty. One of the things I noticed when we watched these 3 separate videos.
A male in a tutu?
Well, I love first off, I love the rainbow flag. I love the communal nature of people working together.
Yes.
I mentioned to Ty, I've been to LA Fitness on US 1, which is the gayest gym on the planet. But it was much more, and beautiful men, but it was much more pose as opposed to, I want to...
Business. We get down to business. It's very, very serious.
Yeah. So when you do this program that we're watching in this video,
my client right
approximately how long do you come for each session?
It depends. It depends on what your fitness levels, what your goal is. Everything's customized. Not you're different from him, and he's different from him. So we don't have anything that's just standard. Everything is customized to the client.
So in your program, the program by Ty, if I was interested, what would happen first in the program is I would meet with you to find out what the goals are, what is possible.
The ultimate
My
goal.
situation is different than Napoleon.
100%.
In terms of what, I still care about my health and my life.
Right.
So I want to do things that he doesn't care about. So,
Right.
So
exactly.
It starts with you personally, though.
100%. And every day they check in with me.
Yeah.
So after the first bowel movement, but after the first bowel movement, they have to take a picture of the scale and they send it to me. So
that's favorable.
Yeah,
Okay,
isn't
keep
it
it
so
down.
much fun for me? I love it.
Wait, I've never heard that before.
So hold them accountable.
This program holds me accountable
Every
to the
single
point where
day.
I
single
have
day.
to show you every single day.
Every
This
single
is-
day.
Yeah.
And so that's the only barometer I have. Aside from the pictures, we do pictures every 2 weeks, but every single day you are sending me a picture of the scale, and if something is fishy, the scale's going up. Well, you're not doing it.
Yeah.
I know you're not doing
I
it.
read an article of something you said that you were quoted in, and I wrote it down because I thought it was so fascinating, that to participate in your 5-week program, you must be 100% dialed in. You must decide if you want to be successful or not.
That's it. End of story. I mean, because it's not easy, and I don't want to waste anybody's time. There's a lot of people that need help, and that are really taking it serious. So if you're at 90%, I'm not your trainer.
Yeah.
It's got to be 100%. Because I'm going to give you 110.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this.
Sure.
I smoke more than Betty Davis, if you know who she is. How can you get me to cut down and not drop dead in the first 5 minutes.
Cut down on that talking.
Ask the audience to stop praying.
Well, no, but it's a serious question. I don't want to give it up, but I do, and I need to.
She said what the owner said.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Thank you, Josie.
One other thing that I read in that article that I thought was interesting. Your approach in the program is that you hold me accountable.
Absolutely.
I've had trainers through the time in my process of the 300 pounds over the 4 years. One of the things I am proud of is my weight has not fluctuated by more than 3 pounds in the last 12 months.
Right.
Which for me is a victory.
Fantastic.
It's a victory.
Absolutely.
I never had anyone say, I'm going to hold you accountable for exactly where you are. Where does that lead to in terms of that challenge?
And I think that's what's separating me right now. And I think that's what the buzz is about, because it's not, oh, come for the training session. I mean, truth be told, our G21, our gym is a little bit pricier than the others, so it separates us from the other gyms around. So I have to hold you accountable. Everybody wants results, and they want it yesterday. So if I don't hold you accountable, you'll never get there.
Yeah.
You'll never get there.
Yeah.
So I have to hold you accountable. And every day, not just when I see you in the gym, every single morning, I'm holding you accountable.
Yeah.
You can apply that to life.
Absolutely, 100%. And anything you do.
Well, Ty, I assure you, I'm going to be coming into.
I would love that. I would love it.
It fascinates me. Your story fascinates me. I told you
Thank
beforehand. You're one of the legend names in South Florida
I
in
appreciate
your
that.
industry.
Thank you so
Wonderful
much.
to
Thank
be
you,
around.
thank you.
And and the combination of your cultural heritage and religious heritage in rejection of gay,
yes,
of being straight, of being a female, of being black.
Oh, honey.
And you have just rolled over every one of those.
I'm trying my best. I'm trying.
Thank you.
America, we're putting a slide up here in terms of how you can contact Ty and the program, the direct phone number. If you're in South Florida, you want to call Ty and contact Ty directly. We have a few other quick slides as we close up here that we're going to show you about the program and kind of recap some of the issues that we're talking about with Ty. Ty, any final thoughts in terms of for people like me that are interested in the program? You for sure get our attention.
Right.
We go, okay, we've been successful to moderately successful. Any closing thoughts of what you would recommend to go, you got to get into the program?
So this is the thing. So you are, if ever your weight hasn't been fluctuated, from 3 pounds to whatever, so you're in maintenance. If you wake up and you are not where you want to be, you need to make the change now. Don't wait till Monday. Don't wait till tomorrow. Let's make the change now if you're not happy with who you are today.
I've got to go now, Al. I'm going with her.
Let's do it, baby. Let's go.
Ty,
Let's go.
we're super thrilled that you're here at It's Happening Out. You're our first health and fitness segment that we've had in terms of talking about this amazing program. I'm fascinated by it about America. And the number one reason that I'm fascinated about it is the woman that's sitting at this table. Ty is definitely a force to be reckoned with. Ty, stay at the table as we move on. I give production a note. We are getting ready to move into a segment that we call about American Main Street. And we're going to show you a video of a recap follow-up from last week and show you something that is happening about America. So, Ty, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
And we're going to start this segment called America's Main Street, the intersection of madness and reality. Watch this video. is there are hundreds of definitions that may apply here, and why do we even need to categorize them? The broad question, starting with bisexuality, the LGB. Is anyone concerned? I posed this question in our production office this afternoon. Is anyone concerned that we are in the eve of the next 15 months where there could be, since Vietnam, we could have open rioting and violence?
Well, I'd love to
in the
tell you about it
streets?
if I could get a sentence out.
Okay, we'll try then.
But, you know, seriously, the United States is not special in this, okay? The amount of guns that we're able to get access to is unique, but this is literally the story straight out of your history textbook of 100 civil wars just like it that the U.S. has interfered in or instigated. Okay, this is how civilizations rise and fall. And you know what? Maybe, I'm sorry to say it, but maybe this is where we fucking fall. And that's painful and scary to say, but this is how this shit happens, is that two polarized sides go completely more and more divided until they're literally battling each other to the death. And either the regime gets overthrown or the regime wins, one or the other.
To his observation, we are going to fight to the death, that these two conflicting point of views are going to turn violent. What do you think about that? Is it possible?
No, because our country's stronger than that, and our leadership.
And why do you think that? I'm honestly, I'm curious to why you have that optimism.
Because of the history of our country. Everybody has raped the word racism. As they've raped the word fuck, it has no meaning anymore.
Rape has meaning.
It has no
firstly.
meaning.
Rape definitely
it might
has
not
meaning.
have any meaning if you're white.
No, rape has meaning.
Have never experienced racism.
Exactly.
Trust me, those of us who have experienced racism know that you can't rape the word enough.
But today it's racism, racism, racism. Everything is racism, racism. They've taken that painful word away from you, Power.
No, they have not.
You know, America's not unique in its sins as a country. We're not unique in our evils, to be honest with you. I think where we may be singular is our refusal to acknowledge them and the legends and myths we tell about our inherent, goodness to hide and cover and conceal so that we can maintain a kind of willful ignorance that protects our innocence. See, the thing is that when the Tea Party was happening, we were saying, pundits, oh, it's just about economic populism. It's not about race. When people knew, social scientists were already writing that what was driving the Tea Party were anxieties about demographic shifts, that the country was changing, that they were seeing these racially ambiguous babies on Cheerios commercials, that the country wasn't quite feeling like it was a white nation anymore. And people were screaming from the top of their lungs, yo, this is not just simply economic populism. This is the ugly underbelly of the country. See, the thing is this, and I'll say this and I'll take the hit on it. There are communities that have had to bear the brunt of America confronting, white Americans confronting the danger of their innocence. And it happens every generation. So somehow we have to kind of, oh my God, is this who we are? And just again, here's another generation of babies. Think about it, a 2-year-old had his bones broken by two parents trying to shield him from being killed. A woman who has been married to this man for as long as I've been on the planet almost, lost her husband. For what? And so what we know is that the country has been playing politics for a long time on this hatred. We know this. So it's easy for us to place it all on Donald Trump's shoulders. It's easy for us to place Pittsburgh on his shoulders. It's easy for me to place Charlottesville on his shoulders. It's easy for us to place El Paso on his shoulders. This is us. And if we're going to get past this, we can't blame it on him. He's a manifestation of the ugliness that's in us. I've had the privilege of growing up in a tradition that didn't believe in the myths and the legends because we had to bear the brunt of them. Either we're going to change, Nicole, or we're going to do this again and again, and babies are going to have to grow up without mothers and fathers, uncles and aunts, friends, while we're trying to convince white folk to finally leave behind a history that will maybe, or embrace a history that might set them free from being white. Finally.
Well, America, we wanted to bring this to you, America's Main Street. Are we living at the intersection of madness and reality? Next month, It's Happening Out will celebrate its 1-year anniversary. And my goodness, have we watched and listened and talked about some amazing things that I haven't ever talked about in my entire life. Before we get into the topic, let me remind you, we told you at the top of the show, we're a live show. You saw some mistakes there that prove we're a live show. We're A-OK because we're a live show. I know you forgive us because you want the interaction of being a live show, so we just proved it to you. As you saw there, last week we had a super interesting conversation because I asked the question, over the next 15 months, are you afraid that unlike since the Vietnam War, we are going to have violence in the streets? And Aaron and Andrew, very specifically, as you saw, but everyone participated in it, talked about, Aaron set up the idea that every society goes through this in each generation. And ultimately, the regime wins or loses, and good things or bad things happen. And Andrew talked about that in his perspective. This brilliant summary from the Harvard professor talked about where we are in terms of racism and what's going on in America. Before we get into the conversation, America's Main Street, are we at the intersection of madness and reality? Let's prove their point. Here are examples of how culturally America has gotten to this point. First slide. In the 1940s, we interned all the Japanese Americans in internment camps. We came back 50 years later and compensated them because of the violation of their human rights. In the 1940s, the United States was slow to its involvement because of isolationism in World War II in preventing the genocide of millions killed by the Nazis of Jews and gays. In the 1950s, McCarthyism labeled people commies and therefore justified taking their civil rights away. In the 1960s, of course, we know about the civil rights movement, Martin Luther King and the Selma marches and segregation, and what it required in terms of the black community in America. In the 1970s, which is what my focus question was last week, we had anti-war sentiment and protest against the war in Vietnam. But we forget today that it was also highly supported in demonstration that it was over American patriotism, and that if you demonstrated against the war, you were not American enough. Does that sound familiar? In the 1980s, the segregation of the gay community principally over AIDS, and silence equaled death. I remind you, Ronald Reagan never said the word AIDS in 8 years of his presidency.
Not true.
In the 1990s, we forgot who we were, and the religious activism of Jerry Falwell and the moral majority came to the forefront, which we still are affected by today. At the turn of the century in the new millennium, Bush v. Gore in the presidential election, and the very smart people that helped George Bush get elected used the gay wedge of gay as one of the principal ways to elect George Bush in 2000 and 2004. In 2010, a black man walked onto the Navy Pier in Chicago. He became a two-term president, but it also bore the Tea Party. And you'll see in that slide, look carefully of the Obama nation. He's wearing a tea bag. And the tea bag, as the Harvard professor points out, we didn't stop the Tea Party in terms of what they were actually behind, which perhaps was racism. And then finally, we show you now. We talk about just the tweets. The tweets are over homophobia, racism, xenophobia, misogyny. And we give you examples of many of the tweets. So it asks us to ask the world, America's Main Street, are we at the intersection of madness and reality? And are we going to repeat this last 80 years again? What do y'all think?
I think that the more things change, the more things stay the same. And it's evident. Quickly, I would just like to say, when Al was speaking, and Al got to the point where he said, and I don't want to go off track, but I do have to say this, when Al got to the point where he said that President Reagan never said the word AIDS, did I hear you correctly when you say it's not true?
It was, yes.
It's not true?
In the first 2 years, he did not say that, but he came around and talked
Okay,
about it.
I would like you, okay, Jared Curry, please take note of this so we can roll it back. I would like you, and I will be man enough and queen enough to say I'm sorry if I'm wrong, but I would like you to pull up a video or anything showing where Ronald Reagan said the word AIDS so that we can show this here. Okay, so that's all I have to say.
Howard, I agree with you. He was not perfect, and I disagreed with him on that.
Andrew, that's not the point.
You heard my challenge. You heard my challenge. But
other thoughts.
Yes, but I do think to your question, Al, I do fear that we are at the point now where yes, we're going to start seeing riots in the street and civil war. I've never feared for that before, but I actually, at 47 years old, for the first time in my life, actually see that as a reality.
Civil war is in our cultural zeitgeist right now. It may seem petty, but in 2016 and the years leading up to it, it wasn't just Trump, but it was exemplified through him. All of media, we had examples of civil war, civil war, civil war. The biggest movie of that year was MCU's Civil War, Batman versus Superman. The idea of people fighting in their own home is what's living in our country right now, in all of our media and everything. And
that's what I brought up last week when I said this is the rise and fall of civilizations. This is how it goes. Listen, war history is like my passion, okay? When I'm not out being the trans token, I'm actually studying and reading things. And a lot of what we're seeing, almost everything about what we're seeing, is not special. It's not new. Americans need to wake up and realize that just because it's never happened in our backyard before does not mean that it's not possible. Power, you said it yourself. At 47 years old, you've never even stopped and considered that maybe this could happen here.
Right.
Maybe the bombs could go off here.
Right.
The last time that the bombs went off here, we put people in camps just for looking like those people, just for looking like the other and the enemy. We put people in internment camps, which is our Diet Coke version of concentration camps, let's be real. Okay, as soon as the bombs start going off in our own backyard, we completely turn into the exact kind of tyrants that we think we're fighting against. This is not, America has not ever forgotten who we are. This is America. This is how America was built. This is the kind of genocidal shit that America was built on. This is how America has kept itself where it is all of these years.
I know. Oh, you go ahead, Andrew. Go ahead. No, I want you. You go ahead before I change the subject.
Okay. Well,
but you're talking about the genocide, and you're contradicting yourself. You are totally contradicting yourself. And it is the liberal media that is creating this genocide of hate.
There's no creating. There's no creating. This is history.
No,
Look at Wikipedia.
No,
I mean, it's that simple.
You all are creating this hate and divisive and racism and white supremacy. Everything like this.
Let me finish. You know what I don't like, Andrew, is when you say something and you don't back it up with facts.
I do.
You just,
How?
No, because what you just said to Aaron was you are contradicting yourself.
He is.
How?
Because he's saying talking about the genocide and this and that when it is the liberal left media who is propagating it. It is not the Republican or President Trump.
Exposing a problem isn't propagating.
Hold on. I'm taking my time, okay? There's the thing about that. No matter whether you believe in the left side or the right side, it doesn't matter. The point remains that this is how civil wars start. The extreme left versus the extreme right. This is how it goes. I agree with you, Andrew. No, it's not about Trump. Trump has always been a symptom of, just like that man said in the video, Trump is a manifestation of the ugliness within us.
Not
This
at all.
is the exact. He is an example. He's put on a pedestal as an example of everything that has been manifesting in this country all along. We were built on racism. We were built on discrimination. We were built on marginalization. And here we are about to reap what we have sown.
President Trump was sent by God to save this country.
And that's
Believe it or not.
That's delusional and terrifying.
President Trump and God should be nowhere in the.
Okay.
No, we need God back in this country. One nation under God.
That doesn't make it's also separation of church and state.
We're not talking about the one nation under God. It's on all our money.
Which
My
is not
question to
separation.
you and those like you is like this. When Aaron or Al or anybody points out the problems that exist in this country, do you actually deny that these problems exist, that racism, that bigotry, that homophobia, that transphobia?
Because of the liberal media and you propaganding
it does not matter because
you
of
people.
Because
It's all
first
five
of all,
of you propaganding it,
because,
not me.
Let's take because off the table. Do you admit that it's a problem? Whether it be because of the left, because of the right, do you admit that there is a problem? Yes or no?
It is the media's problem.
I didn't
yes
ask
or
what
no?
problem.
Yes or no? Do you,
Yes or no?
without
Do you-
it being attached to anyone,
wait.
does it
I'm
answer the
taking the
question?
table back. I'm taking the table back. Andrew, the value of the moment right now for so many people watching this show is the premise that's put out here is let's not talk about Fox News or MSNBC. Let's not talk about them because they're really the same thing representing two opposing sides. The question specifically is it possible to hear from the community you represent, the box you represent, acknowledgement that there is a dramatic conflict going on in America? The yes or no is, do you see that or do you not?
Yes.
Okay.
It's a huge problem in our country.
The difference lies in how we solve it. And the right, the white supremacist right, believes that we solve it in a
Take
completely
that back.
different way.
I am
in a
not a white
completely different
supremacist.
way.
I am
in a
not a
com-
white supremacist.
in a
Take that
completely
back.
different. I will
did
not.
not call you a white
but if
supremacist.
you want
He did
to
not call
own
you a
it.
white
We're all
supremacist, but a hit
talking
dog
over
gon'
each
holler.
other, America.
He didn't call you a white supremacist, but a hit dog gon' holler.
No, he called me a white supremacist.
Okay, a hit dog gon' holler.
She called me a white supremacist. And I'm
He
not
didn't
a
call
white supremacist.
my brother did not call you a white supremacist,
That's
but
what
me
you all wanna believe.
but me thinks
You
you
all
just
say that.
protest too much.
Andrew. Excuse me. Andrew, I'm sorry, and I know it's difficult. You're one of the voices at the table. But I have to call bullshit when it comes. Because you just said you were called a white supremacist.
And he called me that.
Your conversation is not even sophisticated enough in representing the conservative point of view to recognize the discussion of racism and conservatism has nothing to do with you personally. What happens, I'm just pointing out from my perspective, this is an opinion, America. What's valuable in this conversation is exactly what Donald Trump does. Donald Trump hears an argument, personalizes it against himself, turns attack dog onto the person who makes the argument, and then makes that argument over and over and over until they die. Now, it's highly successful. But Andrew, it's happening out, and we're a lot smarter than that.
No, I am not Donald Trump. I am Andrew Brandt, a conservative Republican.
And
do not
you
compare me to Donald
raising
Trump.
your voice
I am my own
and
voice and my own
screaming
person.
fake
Do not
news,
put me in that box.
Fake news and fake news is not going to change the fact that I just gave. And that comes from the person that is among the greatest advocates in America in the gay community to have the conservative point of view. It's the same person making both observations. And my point there, which is what I want to move to from this conversation, is there any way that we can find common ground in the next 15 months? Is it possible, or is this war into the streets inevitable?
Can I say something really quick?
You've said a lot, Andrew.
Wait,
by
I
the
just
way.
want to say, I want to say that
Out of my face.
Josie, can do that. She can bridge us. She's a reasonable voice and sees both sides. And I will say that, and I'll shut up.
So just save the whole country, Josie.
All right, here, let me do my best, okay? The first part of this, the first step is going to be to listen to each other, and we have to be willing to hear the delusion. If you experience it as delusion, you have the right to your experience. But we have to be willing to listen to it. And we have to really be willing to hear each other. Because when we're experiencing and perceiving what someone else is saying and translating into what is not, we need to get clear. And if you hear something like, this is like communication 101. All right, if we're going to create solutions for the benefit of the human race, because that's what it is. We are faced with a human issue. This is not about politics. This is about human lives. And once we get there and we're willing to listen to each other, again, it comes back to simple communication, hearing each other. What did you hear me say? Making sure that I am communicating with the intention that you understand and that you are hearing what I'm saying, and vice versa. That's the first step. If we can't get there, I'm sorry, but we're headed towards civil war.
Let me be incredibly clear. Let me be incredibly clear. Because no, I didn't call you a white supremacist.
Yes, you did.
But you know what I am going to say right here and right now? Is that I do think that you hold in your heart the idea of white superiority. I absolutely believe that. I think you are I think you hold biases. I think you are a racist. Okay? I just said it. I think you're a racist.
And that's what they do.
And here's the thing.
They call names. They call names and not defend anything they say. Call names.
Just like, no, it's not calling a name. It's
you just call me a racist, but you have nothing to back yourself up for calling me a racist.
It's calling a spade a spade. Because within all of us,
that's racist, calling a spade, a black a black.
Am I going to be able to speak? Okay? We all hold it within us these ideals that we've been raised in this country, okay? We've all been steeped in this culture that believes that white is the way to be, that white is the thing to be prized, is the thing to be sought after. I can tell you as a Latino that being perceived as more white is perceived as more favorable, okay? You were raised with it, 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 you were raised with it. We all grew up in this. If you are willing to sit there and say that that's not the truth, you are blind and you are willfully ignorant.
Not at all. My partner always said I never have to worry about Andrew cheating on me unless there's a handsome black man in the bar.
Yeah, you know what? All the racists love black dick. All the racists love black dick.
Also, the plantation masters used to love the black punani. That didn't mean they still was racist.
By the way, Thomas Jefferson. If you go to Monticello, you learn all of the history.
And to be clear, fetishizing someone or an object does not mean that you respect them as a human. Fetishizing someone does not make it.
Yes, it does.
I want to try to take the table back again.
She like black dicks.
All right, so we've asked. We've asked the question. It's very important to me. My next question is very important. Please don't derail the train. Do you believe, at least in terms of the voice guidance for its happening out, that there is a commitment to have a conservative Republican voice participate in our conversation?
Yes.
Do you believe that? You, personally. Do you believe it?
Absolutely.
Okay. As a result, we continue to do that. This topic is very important to us, gay community. It is very important to us. Because for the first time in my life, you are going to make a decision on November 3rd, 2020. And the decision is probably not what you think. It's not who you're going to vote for. Your decision, gay America, is if you're going to vote at all. And the problem with that is what you're watching here and why this subject exists unique in America. America's Main Street, and we're talking about the gay community. Are we living at the intersection of madness and reality? I think this conversation alone proves that's where we're living. So as a result, I want to bring the show and this conversation to an end. In that, I respect all of the opinions. I don't agree with all of the opinions. But the point is we must find ways to illuminate our opinions to common ground. And if we can't do that, you must, America, gay America, get out and cast your vote of what you want for the next 4 years. And my greatest fear is not sitting here and is not sitting here. My greatest fear in reaching out into the darkness is that you don't care. And that is the craziness of the corner we are living at.
Vote.
America, that is our show this week at It's Happening Out. Woo! We start the show drinking. We end the show, thank goodness, eating. Ty has slipped out and is not seeing this, by the way. We always end our show with among the favorite foods here, except for Bubbles and Pearls. And that is Thomas. Thomas, come on in. Gosh, I hope you're not going to show me a cookie. You're not showing me a cookie, right?
No cookie this time.
All right, Thomas, what did you bring for us?
Yes.
Gluten-free.
Yum.
Did you have a good week?
I did, actually.
I'm curious, Thomas. I've never asked you this question before.
Go ahead.
He's nervous. I hear it.
Thomas, what are you doing? No, no, that's not my question. My question is, when you hear volatile conversation like this, what do you think about it? I'm really curious.
Oh, that was like fireworks, like 4th
Fireworks.
of July.
Do you think it's valuable, or do you go,
I think
too
it's
much?
great. I think I agree with Josie. It's very valuable because you see both sides.
Both
As long as you hear what the other person has to say.
Yeah, as
Otherwise,
long as
you're
you
just
listen.
staying silent.
I thank you for bringing the thin gluten-free. It's going to be delicious. And Thomas, as always, good seeing you, and thank you for being with us. Jet's Pizza, absolutely the best here in South
Napoleon,
Florida.
quit giving me that look. I'm getting half that pizza.
All right, America, that is our show this week. We hope you've enjoyed it, and we continue to be here. As we end our show, we always end our show by saying, take it out of your shot, Josie.
I mean,
We always
blocking
end our
me.
show with a good night, and we're going to do that again tonight. Remember, we have the first trans person of color, the winner of IML, as a guest host next week. Be sure and tune in. It's going to be very interesting. We always thank you. Remember, next week, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time next Wednesday. So we say goodnight from the host, and we give all an opportunity, and we'll start with
why
you.
it's important with us?
Say?
Is this why it's important to us?
So Trump is his answer. Good
Good
night, Trump, from Andrew.
Why is this important to me? It's this right here, our Constitution and the lies of the liberal media. God bless President Trump. God bless Governor DeSantis, and God bless the United States of America.
Okay. And my friend, by the way, my friend, even if I might disagree with him on things, Andrew Brett, my friend Napoleon Plays.
Good night to everyone who disagrees with Andrew, but also to all my leather brothers. I hope that you are all as excited as I am to meet Mr. IML next week. I cannot wait, and I also promise you some behind-the-scenes look at some of the aftercare that our fitness expert Ty, who's in the back right now, might be able to provide for some healthy aftercare of a scene.
All right. And my friend, my sister, because we no sex. No. Chef Josie.
Good night, humans. Don't forget that that's what you are. And, it's just keep watching because we're having valuable conversation here. We need your ears. We need your participation. We need you to get out there and vote.
Woo! Yes.
And to my friend Aaron Phoenix.
Well, good night, gender fuckers. And, y'all who conform, too. It's all right. We accept you. But ultimately, know your history. Read up on this shit. Get informed. Don't be complacent and don't be fooled. This isn't funny. This is real. Okay? We've got to get out there and we've got to come out against it. No more blocking the Republicans. We've got to listen because we've got to know your enemy. Okay? And know who's out after your rights. Get informed.
And my friend Power Infiniti.
Good night, children. And just to let you guys know, this is very important because we're just not here to talk about it, but we're here to be about it. So when somebody asks you, how dare you, you tell them, I motherfucking dare.
You later have got to teach me all of these poses. I just love these poses.
They come naturally.
Look,
Convince people
America,
that she's sweet.
as we say goodnight, I want to say to you, I'm feeling kind of distressed. Honestly, I am. I'm feeling kind of distressed. And the reason is because I could sit here and we could, like we did in the beginning, we would play 6 games in one show. 6. We don't do that. We sprinkle, we do some light things. We talk about gossip, we talk about celebrities, we talk about politics, we talk about everything. I'm a little distressed as we end the show tonight because I wonder if I'm helping push along in the right way. It would be so easy for me to take a shortcut and talk about the new Marvel movie coming out almost exclusively.
Right.
So I hope, like in diving, you give us degrees of difficulty points because the gay community is deep. We are deep. And we're proving that not only to our own community, but even more importantly, maybe, to the broad straight community. There's a lot going on here, and these are big, important times. Tonight, we've walked you through some of the blinders we put on starting in the 1940s and did it every decade since. Let's try not to do that this time. And if you believe that, that means you believe in gay culture, and you believe in gay community, and you believe we are worthwhile. And I do. And so if you believe that too, keep watching us every Wednesday at 8 o'clock. And we know you are. Thank you for the growth of this show. Over 500,000 viewers in America watching. We thank you. And we'll continue to do our best live at It's Happening Out. Good night, America.
Good night. Thank you.